So I'm sure that he ain't gonna change. He's gonna be who he is, and again, he don't bother me. I don't think 2 seconds about none of that because he's not on my level. You know what I mean? It's like he's not talking about business. You know what I mean? It's just giving his opinion, trying to promote his son. I don't agree with. Floyd told me many years, probably go 25 years ago, that what kind of person he was. But initially, I'm just being honest, I didn't believe him. I had to see it for myself. Yeah. And my description of him, he's a horrible person.
Leonard Ellerbe has just dropped a bombshell. In a new interview, the longtime Mayweather Promotions executive didn't hold back, revealing information that puts Floyd in an even tighter corner and exposes details about money matters that were never meant to be public. According to Ellerby, the whispers about unpaid obligations and looming bankruptcy are real. He pointed out that the same financial pressure that once kept Floyd stuck in Dubai last year is now back in the picture, raising serious questions about how deep the trouble might run.
Live an American dream, man. You got 55 cars, 40 girlfriends.
Well, actually,
you're a billionaire now, right? Come on, let's salute this billionaire on stage.
But how many years ago you was broke? When I say broke, you ain't have a lot of money, you was just barely making it.
The manner in which Ellerby revealed everything instantly sparked a new theory among fans. People began to wonder whether this was retaliation aimed at the very man who had removed him from power. Was this honesty or was it personal? Cast your mind back to last year when Gervonta spoke about Floyd being unable to leave Dubai. As it turns out, that claim carried weight. The understanding was that Floyd could walk away only after promising to settle what he owed within a 12-month window. Miss that deadline, and he would have to return to the table in Dubai to sort all out again. When the interviewer finally asked Ellerby where Floyd's finances stand today, he tried to move past the subject at first. But the host wasn't letting it slide, insisting that a straight answer could finally silence the rumors and give everyone a clearer picture of the truth.
Floyd had posted that you was no longer a part of Mayweather Promotions. You care to say anything about that?
There's nothing to say other than I appreciate the opportunity to do something amazing. We had an incredible run, and I'm forever grateful and thankful. Blessed.
Yeah.
Blessed.
Yeah. That's
blessed.
I love to hear that shit.
Ellerby went even further, saying Floyd couldn't come up with the money in time and ultimately had to make the trip back to the Middle East to honor the commitment he had made. The timing raised eyebrows because it overlapped with a wave of headlines, talk about a supposed multi-million-dollar New York property, disputes involving luxury jewelers, and mounting questions tied to taxes. Ellerby pushed back on the idea that Floyd simply slipped away. In his words, the pressure waiting overseas is even heavier than what people see at home. He claimed there are outstanding issues with several jewelry businesses and complicated tax matters still hanging over him. But according to Ellerby, Dubai is where the stakes truly explode, with liabilities he suggested climb into staggering territory. And once that battle is handled, he believes Floyd will have to come back and confront whatever legal challenges remain on this.
Which he's done a good job thus far. But then sometimes there's a line that you cross with some of the things and you turn some people off.
In a revelation that caught plenty of people off guard, Leonard Ellerbe said his departure from Mayweather Promotions came down to what he described as serious financial wrongdoing and years of mismanagement. For him, staying simply wasn't an option anymore. He admitted the choice tore at him, but he felt pushed to walk away. Ellerby explained that Floyd's repeated missteps had affected him directly, and after absorbing the fallout time and time again, he reached a breaking point. He couldn't continue carrying the weight of decisions he didn't make, especially when, in his view, the pattern had stretched on far too long.
What is it about him that sort of reviews?
He's always been jealous of Floyd. He's always been jealous of Floyd, and if that ain't obvious, I don't know what it is.
Once those statements started circulating, the internet lit up. Viewers rushed to the comment section, each person offering their own explanation for how things might have unraveled. One supporter argued that the real problem could be spending habits. They pointed out that many stars run into trouble after their careers slow down because of risky deals and over-the-top lifestyles. The same commenter also suggested that Floyd might present a bigger fortune than he truly has, since his brand has always revolved around the image of extreme wealth. Another person focused on the Dubai situation and pushed back on the idea that he was completely trapped. They wrote that typically only a primary passport would be restricted and that travel could still be possible. The fan added that, in the region, passport disputes between workers and powerful figures aren't unheard of, and speculated that Floyd might be dealing with someone whose influence stretches much further than most people realize.
Barely making it.
Today, I ran all the way here.
Why?
Because I couldn't even buy a bus ticket.
That's crazy.
But you still had 55 cars.
No, I don't.
What happened?
Well, I bought myself some crack,
Dang.
and then more crack.
More voices jumped in, each trying to piece together why the trip happened in the first place, that a third commenter claimed there could be multiple explanations. In their view, one possibility involved financial investigations, while another rumor suggested a casino dispute, the idea that credit was extended, losses piled up, and an attempt to leave before settling the balance triggered authorities to step in and stop the departure until the matter was resolved. Then came the trolls, who didn't hold back at all. One mocked Floyd for projecting luxury online, while allegedly dealing with heavy obligations behind the scenes, joking that the famous nickname tied to wealth no longer fit. They accused him of burning through money on image, entertainment, and excess, and said those choices might have put him in a position where powerful people were demanding repayment. In their dramatic words, it was a fall from icon status to something far less glamorous.
Respect thing, that's just something I don't get into. Floyd's a legend in the sport. He's accomplished everything in the sport, beat everybody. He's TBE.
The ex-head of Mayweather Promotions added yet another twist. He said Floyd misjudged how much money his most recent exhibition would actually generate, banking on a massive payday that didn't fully materialize at Leonard Ellerby's telling. That event became the key that temporarily eased the pressure. Without it, he suggested, the debt situation might have tightened even further, making the bout less of a spectacle and more of a lifeline.
No, none of these guys are like Floyd. Floyd was...
But Ellerby pointed out that the actual earnings from the fight were far lower than Floyd had hoped, around $20 to $25 million. That's still a far cry from the massive sums he allegedly owed in Dubai, which explains why he's reportedly pushing hard to set up another exhibition bout with Jake Paul. If Floyd can't settle those debts after all this time, the consequences could get messy, fast. Yet, as baffling as Ellerby's claims sound, they clash with Floyd's public persona. He continues to live a life of luxury and extravagance, seemingly undeterred by the financial storm brewing behind the scenes.
Into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings. It's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
A lot of fans have turned on Leonard Ellerbe, calling him a traitor for spilling secrets about Floyd Mayweather ever since he left Mayweather Promotions. But what many don't realize is that in Ellerby's eyes, Floyd was the first to betray trust. Before Ellerbe even began responding to Floyd's alleged misdeeds, he claims Floyd had already acted wrongly. After staying quiet for a while about Mayweather's debts and controversies, Ellerbe eventually decided to speak out. Since stepping away from the company, he's reportedly been gathering information on Floyd's movements and assets and passing crucial details to federal authorities, painting a picture of someone determined to hold Mayweather accountable.
Guess what? You can do the same. It's all about making power moves.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm pointing like this because all of them, we're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on.
While Rick Glazer backed up parts of the story, Floyd Mayweather's public appearances had led many to believe the claims were either exaggerated or that he had somehow negotiated his way out of trouble back in May. But Ellerbe insists the truth is far more serious. He says Floyd was genuinely trapped in Dubai, and his release came with strict conditions, namely that all of his bank accounts were frozen until the debt was fully resolved. Ellerby's inside perspective as the former CEO of Mayweather Promotions gave him access to details that even Gervin Davis hadn't known at the time. According to Ellerbe, Floyd may have returned to the U.S., but the hold in Dubai hasn't fully lifted, and the financial strings there continue to weigh heavily on him.
this money made. No partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started.
Although Ellerby didn't dive into every detail about Floyd Mayweather's detainment, a series of recent leaks had already fueled speculation among boxing fans. According to Ellerby, Floyd was reportedly given a massive sum of cash at a casino, but lost it all in a single streak of gambling. Since Dubai doesn't have legal public casinos, it's believed this took place in a private venue. The fallout was dramatic. Authorities allegedly surrounded Floyd's private jet, and with his bank accounts frozen, the money he had on hand became useless at the airport.
Just out of curiosity, bro, you said that Floyd was kidnapped by the Abu Dhabi folks. Any comment on that?
And again, like I was just saying,
Floyd Mayweather's situation in Dubai reportedly allowed him to move freely within the country and live lavishly, but he was strictly forbidden from leaving. To enforce this, Dubai authorities allegedly stationed security around his private jet to prevent any attempts to escape. Rumors suggest Floyd owes an enormous sum, possibly in the hundreds of millions, forcing him to pay upwards of $20 million a month just to chip away at the debt. Despite this, Ellerby claims he continued his extravagant lifestyle, racking up even more obligations instead of making smarter financial choices. Dubai, known for strictly enforcing debts, especially for foreigners, has a reputation for keeping Americans there until their obligations are fully met. Interestingly, media coverage on the situation remained minimal, and even the White House stayed silent, despite Floyd's recent string of controversies. Adding fuel to the fire, Ellerby's revelations have painted Floyd as financially unreliable, backing up previous claims by Gervin Davis that the boxing star was essentially being held hostage. What makes this even more striking is that Ellerby, historically tight-lipped about Floyd, never publicly revealed any of this information until now.
A little about big news came down yesterday. Leonard Ellerbe no longer in at Mayweather Promotions. Seems like that's happened a couple times over the course of the years back, because I remember years ago I was thinking Richard Schaefer was going to take over, but now apparently that is happening. Thoughts on Leonard Ellerbe making his way out?
I think Leonard is still in a good position, and I don't think that it was any animosity between Floyd.
Since stepping away from Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe has shifted gears into a completely new arena. His first venture into the booming world of women's college basketball quickly showed results on Monday morning in State College, Pennsylvania. Ellerbe attended a press conference to announce the transfer of one of his signees to Big Ten rival Penn State. In this new chapter, he's acting as an advisor for McMiller, handling nil deals and navigating the complex world of college athletics. Ellerbe spent 17 years as the face of Mayweather Promotions before parting ways with Floyd last June. During his tenure, he played a pivotal role in promoting every one of Mayweather's pay-per-view events, including the blockbuster 2015 showdown against Manny Pacquiao at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, a fight that cemented Mayweather's legacy as an undefeated five-division champion.
I just think that it was just time for him to move on.
Of course, Leonard is very wrapped up in PBC type stuff here with this promotion and everything that they do. Do you think that played any part in him leaving Mayweather Promotions?
I guess it could have played a part. If you're in between promotions and you're working with one and you're not working with the other.
The Mayweather-Pacquiao fight wasn't just a spectacle. It was a financial juggernaut, raking in over $600 million in total revenue and smashing U.S. pay-per-view records with around 4.4 million buys. Yet behind the glitz, Ellerbe found himself entangled in a situation that ultimately led to his exit. Floyd Mayweather officially announced Ellerby's departure on Instagram, and the reins of Mayweather Promotions have since been handed over to Richard Schaefer, the former CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Fans had plenty to say about the shakeup. One wrote, "It's about time." People defended him for years without question. Maybe some still haven't realized it, but I've been saying it for a long time. Just because he promoted Tank, everyone blindly loved him.
Yeah, so I don't think there was no, like I said, I don't think there was no animosity or anything, because even Floyd always spoke as, he would always say that, when Al Heyman has fights, because he can always get his fighters on Al Heyman's shows.
Do you think it was a little difficult for Leonard to be in a tough spot, because obviously very close to Tank here, and then...
Some fans took the conversation in a much stranger direction. One admitted, "I don't know why, but his facial hair always looked completely ridiculous to me. It didn't seem real, and for some reason, I just couldn't stand him." Another chimed in with a more historical perspective. "It's wild. Ellerby has been part of Mayweather Promotions since the very start. I still remember when he went from being Floyd's head masseuse to CEO. He took that masseuse role way too seriously, constantly licking his lips while massaging Floyd's head in the corner. And not everyone had kind words for Ellerby's successor. One fan insisted that Mayweather Promotions couldn't really move forward without him, suggesting that the company had lost a central figure in the transition.
Of course, we know Floyd and Tank had their ups and downs, so mostly downs recently. So do you think that was...
Yeah, that makes it tough. That makes it tough. That makes it where, you know, he basically... Because a lot of times, friends want you to pick sides. But, I mean, Leonard's smart enough not to pick sides.
One fan didn't hold back on criticizing Richard Schaefer, writing, "He's failed spectacularly over the past 8 years. Just look at what he's done. He couldn't secure TV coverage for WBSS from the start, which should have been an easy win. He ran 2 promotional companies that completely flopped, and the fighters who signed with him saw their careers stall. It's been one setback after another. He's like a baseball player stuck in a strikeout streak." While rumors about shifts at Mayweather Promotions had circulated, the confirmation still took many by surprise. Ellerby had been Floyd Mayweather's trusted right-hand man since the very beginning of his career, but recent years have shown a different story as the company's influence and success have declined.
Not to pick sides, and he just kept it business.
It seems like Mayweather Promotions has kind of, over the last few years, not had the place of prominence that it had previously. Do you think that was part of it too, or it seemed like it's kind of more of an afterthought at this point?
Well, I mean, I just think that...
Amid all the drama, Floyd's uncle, Jeff Mayweather, weighed in on how Ellerby managed the tense relationship between Floyd and Davis. While Floyd had occasionally taken jabs at Davis after the boxer left Mayweather Promotions, things escalated quickly. Rumors swirled that Floyd was stuck in Dubai, and the two began openly clashing on social media. When asked about Ellerby's role in all this, Jeff admitted it was an incredibly tricky position to navigate. "Many friends would pressure you to pick a side," he explained. But in Jeff's view, Ellerby handled it wisely. "Leonard is smart enough not to take sides," Jeff said. "He just stayed focused on business."
I mean, it got to a point where, you know, I started hearing a lot of young fighters saying that, they're not getting fights,
Jeff added some context, suggesting that Ellerby's position between promotions might have contributed to the split. "I mean, if you're working with one promotion and not the other, yeah, that could play a role," he said. But he was quick to stress that there was never any real animosity. Jeff explained that Ellerby's hesitation to fully part ways with Al Heyman played a part in the fallout between him and Floyd. Floyd, he noted, always valued access to Heyman's fights, since it gave him opportunities for his fighters. Despite the split, Jeff made it clear that both Ellerby and Floyd remain on friendly terms. Now all eyes are on Mayweather Promotions to see how it will fare under the leadership of Richard Schaefer in the ever-competitive boxing world.
That I have no idea. But, so basically, if you're not getting work, you gotta do...
Floyd initially announced the news solely through social media. But after fans and boxing insiders misread his post, the undefeated legend decided to clarify things with a live broadcast. Earlier, he had shared an old photo of himself with Richard Schaefer on Instagram, along with a caption explaining the decision to part ways with Leonard Ellerbe. The post read in part, "Mayweather Promotions would like to extend our deepest gratitude to Leonard Ellerbe for his exceptional leadership and unwavering dedication over the years. Leonard has been an integral part of our team, contributing to numerous business endeavors that have played a pivotal role in the success of Mayweather Promotions."
So what do you think about, Richard Schaefer obviously tightening the sport for many, many years? Do you think that was a good move for Floyd?
I think
Jeff Mayweather also weighed in on an internal issue that may have fueled the split between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Leonard Ellerbe. He revealed that several younger fighters under Mayweather Promotions had been voicing frustrations, claiming they weren't getting enough fights because Ellerby was spending more time working with PBC, seemingly neglecting his core responsibilities. "I'm starting to hear a lot of young fighters say they're not getting fights," Jeff admitted, his expression showing concern. "And who's to blame for this? I honestly don't know. But if you can't get work, you've got to do something about it. That's all for now." For the latest updates, highlights, and breaking news in the boxing world, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our content. Until next time, peace.